You're listening to the Time to Level Up podcast. I'm your host, business life coach Andrea Liebross. I help women in business commit to their own growth personally and professionally. Each week, I'll bring you strategies to help you think clearly, gain confidence, make your time productive, turn every obstacle into an opportunity, and finally overcome the overwhelm so that you can make money and manage life. Let's create a plan so you have a profitable business, successful career, and best of all, live with unapologetic ambition. Are you ready to drop the drama and figure out the how in order to reach your goals? You're in the right place. It's time to level up. Let's do this. Welcome to the Time to Level Up podcast, episode 16. Wow, we have made it past 15. We've actually recorded more than 16 because we have done a couple bonus episodes with clients of mine, putting those out to you, dropping on Thursdays. So probably by now there's 3 or 4 of them out there. So go back. If you are a subscriber, and if you're not, go to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and check out those bonus episodes, because what I think is so fun about those is that when we hear other people's stories, we always can find a piece of ourselves in them. So sometimes the work or the learning that I put out there in the world, it can be hard to apply to ourselves sometimes because we just don't see things. But when you see other people and see how they have found success and created their own success, it becomes easier for us to see how we could do that in our own lives. So I encourage you to go check out the bonus episodes that have dropped for the past couple Thursdays. Okay, so today's topic, playing off of last week's topic on money. Today, we're going to talk about investing in yourself. Okay, so have you ever wondered how to invest in yourself as a woman so you can grow and evolve and reach what I would like to call your infinite potential? Okay, so there's a book out there called The Infinite Game. It's a great one. I think it's Simon Sinek. And he talks about how the potential, we have infinite potential, right? Because we're playing in an infinite game. So this month, March 2021, if you're listening, I am launching the next round of my program, Committed to Growth. So right then and there, when women consider and then enroll in Committed to Growth, they are investing in themselves. And ironically, there's that word grow in the title. Okay. But for all of us, I'm pretty sure for all of us, there was a time when we rarely would invest in ourselves. And I know there was a time when I would rarely invest in myself. I bought books I liked, but aside from that, there seemed to be this sort of invisible force holding me back from spending money on things that I knew would help me grow into my infinite potential. And I think this kind of period of my life was after college, because college was an investment in my potential. After graduate school, I did go on and get a master's degree after that. And then right around the time when I started to have kids. And we had a house and we had a dog and we now had a child that we had to feed and clothe. And I started to put myself in the back seat. And I really did stop investing in myself for a significant period of time. I would see courses out there and workshops and retreats that really spoke to me, but I would always just sort of let them come and go again, telling myself, oh, maybe next year, or maybe when I have a bit more time, or maybe when we have a little more money, or maybe when things weren't so busy. or maybe when I could depend on my husband a little more in the sense that he wasn't around a lot because he was working a lot. He was doing his job. So I really wasn't investing in myself at all for a good while. And when I did eventually go back to work and working in my past job with Worth, I've talked about that in a couple episodes, the work within that job was super cyclical. There were definitely the busy seasons and the not so busy. And so at that point, I really hesitated investing in myself because it was a time thing. I was always waiting for the perfect time. Here's the funny part though. I would spend money on things that kind of had no return, that could not pay me back in any way. I spent some money on clothes. I spent money on my hair or my nails without really questioning it. It was just something I did. So I want you to notice that these are all external things. They had to do with physical appearance. They had nothing to do with what was going on in my brain or my mental capacity and abilities, right? But when I transitioned from my job at Worth into creating my own coaching business, something finally clicked. Something changed. It was kind of like the light went on, and I finally had clarity. I decided at that point, if I wanted to become the woman I dreamed of being and live a fulfilling and abundant life, then I needed to start investing in the most important thing of all, me. It's kind of like that whole put your own oxygen mask on first, right? So not only that, the investing in me, but I started to reevaluate other things in my life. I stopped spending time with people who didn't align with where I was growing. And I have talked to clients about this a lot. They have noticed as they have started to grow personally and professionally, sometimes the people they hung out with in the past just weren't doing it for them anymore. Those people were not aligning with where they were going or where they wanted to go. And that's okay. Friends can change. Something else that I started to reevaluate was devoting more time to thinking, to kind of more of a morning ritual. And I once again became an early riser, not because a kid was waking me up, but because I was choosing to spend that time with myself. And I get up earlier than anyone in my house right now. And I didn't think that would ever really happen. So I became really conscious about the things that I was allowing into my world, like TV shows and movies and social media. And when I started coaching and launching my own business, I spoke, and I continue to speak, right, to countless women who want to invest in themselves, but they never have done that. They have the same excuses that I used to tell myself. I would say, okay, we don't have the money. I don't have the time. Maybe next year. But I've noticed that men don't do this. Okay? They see something they want. They make a decision and they take action right away. They don't stall. They don't ask for permission. They don't hold back. So we as women need to stop limiting and stunting our own growth and potential and start backing ourselves as women. So here's my question to you. What does it mean to invest in yourself? Here's what I think. Investing in yourself, it really means devoting your resources. And we have 3 resources at our disposal. We have time, we have money, and we have brain power. Okay, so devoting your resources to things that will give you a return. So I started booking tickets to workshops and seminars that interested me, that I knew would help me grow personally and professionally. I hired a coach. I actually hired a few different coaches for different areas of my life. And I did all of this even though the money was not flooding in. I used some savings and I got a 0-interest credit card with a $20,000 limit. It was only in my name, not my husband's. And I trusted that I would make my money back by giving myself this gift of knowledge and new skills. And you know what? I always made my money back. Whatever goals I set with that 0-interest credit card, I did it. I still have it, but I don't use it anymore. So what was going on at this point in my life was that I was becoming an aggressive investor. Okay, so this is what I mean when I say an aggressive investor. So when we talk about investing, if you go visit your financial planner, they're going to give you all sorts of quizzes to help you figure out, are you more of a conservative investor or an aggressive investor? This is how I look at it, okay? I'm not really talking about the stock market, but we can invest in ourselves or we can invest in others or other entities like stock. So for example, when you invest in stocks, Apple or Home Depot or GameStop, okay, you name it, all you can do really is sit around and wait for that company or entity to grow. And I watched my son over the past few weeks with his big monitors on his desk. He was all into that GameStop stuff. So he would just watch and see what was going on, right? Or Apple stock. I'm going to watch and see what Apple does for me, all right? And I think this is all actually kind of wrong. Because when I invest in a training or in a class or in a coach, what I'm really doing is investing in myself to learn how to make money for me. When you see it as an investment in yourself and you love yourself and trust yourself, this type of aggressive investing becomes fun. It becomes a challenge. You start to think about it as, okay, let's see what I can create from this investment. Let's see what I can do with this. And you, I promise, will be absolutely amazed at what you can do when you have your own back. So when I want someone else or some other company to have my back instead of me, it doesn't work this way. Because if I am not the one doing the work, if I don't believe in myself, I will not grow no matter what. So it is only when you invest in yourself that you are really creating the growth. So back to the aggressive investment idea. So this does not mean reckless investment. It does not mean doing things without thinking. What it means is that I'm going all in on me, and I am betting money on me, and I am going to prove that this was a great investment for me. Right? I'm not going all in on GameStop and just watching things go up and down. I am going all in on me, and I am creating the up and down. All right. So what this means is that I am now expecting my brain to think bigger and take responsibility for it. So over the past few weeks, like I mentioned, I have been recording these podcasts with some of my clients that have had success. Okay. All of them, every single one of them has said something that I had not really put too much thought into until now. They have said that what investing in coaching did for them, which is really investing in something bigger, investing in themselves, what it's done is that it has taught them to think bigger. One, I think Jessie said that she went from narrow thinking to broad thinking. Okay, so she kind of was only staying in her little lane of the thinking she knew, but when she started to invest in herself, she started to think bigger. Someone else, Sandy, had said that she started to think big picture and make decisions from a big picture kind of place instead of the picture in the here and now. And then Brenda said she started to see possibility and opportunity in everything. Now, most of these women, all of these women, I'm going to guess, made this investment feeling a little scared or feeling a little pain. Some people said to me they feel like they're going to throw up when they make the payment, when they make the investment. And I always say that's perfect, because that means that you are walking into a space that will allow you to change. It makes you feel so powerful because you are realizing when you make an investment in yourself how much you really genuinely have control over what you're going to create out of that investment. And that actually can be a little scary, realizing how much control you have. So, many of my clients are married, and they will often bring their spouse's thoughts into their decision of whether or not to invest in themselves. And they'll say to me things like, any of these big decisions we make together. All right, I get it. And then I will say, well, what do you think is going to happen in that conversation? Let's play out the conversation. And they'll say, well, he's going to ask me what kind of return I'm going to get on the investment. He's got a business mind. Well, here's the thing. I can't really tell you what exactly kind of return you're going to get on the investment. And he should really be asking you that question, because the return is dependent on you building your own beliefs in you, trusting yourself. Because the more you can build in your beliefs and trust and commitment to aggressively investing in yourself, and really the more you get serious about creating return on it, the easier it is to hold space for all of his doubt and yours. Because there will be times when, your belief wavers. So it's at this point when that doubt appears that you really need to stay in your power, to stay committed to what you decided ahead of time. Because I'm going to guess if you have even considered investing in yourself, you've had this little inkling of thought that, yep, I can do this. I can create something bigger. I am capable of so much more. And I know that this investment is what will bring that to the forefront and make it happen. You've already decided that, my friends, before you even got on a call or before you even looked at the more details of the program. You already knew that. So you have to stay in that belief when someone else or when yourself starts to doubt or starts to say, what kind of return are you going to get on this investment? You have to stay in the belief that you will get a huge return. So think about this. Like other people, husbands, they don't know what is happening when we first start to invest in ourselves. I know my husband didn't quite know what was going on when I started to invest in myself. He was questioning my investments. Now I'm going to preface this. Everybody always says my husband's super supportive, and he is supportive. Mine was super supportive. I would never say he wasn't. But here's the thing. He started to kind of question, like, what's the return you're going to get on this? Okay. But this is what happened. And I had to get some coaching on this, I will admit. We had a little sit down, he and I said, take some notes. I want you to take some notes. I want you to do some math with me and watch what I am going to do. Here's what I'm envisioning, what I'm going to do with this investment. Here's the potential that I see. This investment, when compared to what I can create in my business, this whatever it is, $5 or $10 or $15 or $25,000 investment, when I compare that to what I know that I can create in my business myself, that investment is so small. My potential is infinite. It's endless. And I know, and I believe, and I trust that I can do this. So this investment is like a drop in the bucket for the return I will get on it. When I did that, you guys, I have to say, he was like all in. He's all in, all in. So when people say to me, oh, my husband doesn't believe in me or he's skeptical, I always say, I wonder why that is. Because right now, as you're explaining this all to me, you are not believable right now. You are not believing in yourself. So why should he? You are not sure this all will, quote unquote, work. So why would he believe in you? Or why would he believe that you should aggressively invest in you? And if the woman or the person I'm talking to, if you say, well, Andrea believes that I can do this to your husband, he doesn't know me. He only knows you. So you're the one he has to believe in. You're the one who has to do the work to create the business or the promotion. You're the one that has to show up. He's not showing up. You're the one that has to show up. I totally can believe in you, but I can't show him that you believe in you. Only you can do that work. So when women come to me and say, I just don't know if I should do this. If I should invest. What I do with that is I say, let's get curious. Why are you not sure? Why are you not believing in yourself? For me, Andrea, for me, I always want to be the best and do the best work I can. And I love the feeling of creating something amazing. I love the power of knowing that I can solve any problem. And I think I've mentioned this before. I love anyone, any learning I'm gaining, anyone that's helping me. I love paying them because when I pay them, I know that that means that I am reaping the benefits. I am growing. My knowledge base is growing. My belief is growing. My trust in myself is growing. So when the woman says, I'm not sure it's worth it, what I really hear them saying is, I'm not sure I'm worth it. They don't believe they are worth it. They believe they are not worth it. So I always say, okay, you know what? I don't want you to invest in anything if you are not committed to your own growth. I don't want you to invest with me or with anyone else unless you believe that you will get your investment back and more. And that can be monetarily, or it can be get it back in more in other ways. So if you don't believe that, it doesn't do me any good or you to invest, because the kind of business I'm running, it's the kind where we create more success together. And the more success my clients have, the more success I have. So if you are not committed to creating success, to believing that you're capable of success, then maybe this isn't the time to invest. So I want you to consider that being nervous about what you are capable of, that is totally normal, my friends. And we do the work on that so you can learn that being uncomfortable or nervous is a sign that you're growing, that you're changing, that you're transforming, that you're creating. It's like when you vomit after making the investment out of nerves. Good. That's a sign to me that you're all in. And if you are not all in and you were reluctant, which is kind of different than nervous, but if you were reluctant to invest, then you're not ready to aggressively invest. But if you're all in, the nervous, the uncomfortable, that's normal. So an investment should somehow make you richer. Whether it's through money or knowledge or new skills or relationships or experience or support or even self-worth and inner peace, it should make you richer. And I will tell you, when I have invested, I guess I'll speak to coaching. When I have invested in coaching, I have become so much richer. Yes, I have made more money, but the relationships that have come out of that coaching, the experiences, the feeling of support that I've received, that's like priceless, okay? I created a free download that's linked in the show notes that gives you, I think, 30 different ways to invest in yourself. You know what? Investing in yourself, it might happen today Or it might take months or even years to invest and to see the dividends. But it is worth it. Just even the process of growing without the dividends is worth it. What matters is that you are being conscious with your valuable resources each day and choosing to use them in a way that supports you and aligns with where you want to grow and go. So, question. How are you investing in yourself? Is it on all external things? Is it on clothes and hair and nails like I was? Or are you investing in your most valuable resource, your own brain, your own ability to create anything you want? So on the 18th of March, if you're listening in March, we start the next round of Committed to Growth, my signature group coaching program where I use my proven process to guide women through growth. And that is professional growth, growth in their career and their business, but it also spills into personal growth. The monetary investment, if we're talking about investments in yourself and Committed to Growth, is $5,000. And when you think about a $5,000 investment, is that a lot or a little in comparison with the amount your future self is making? So when you invest in yourself, you are investing in your future. So when I invested in my current coach, Stacey Bayman, it's a big investment, but I am really investing in myself, and I see that investment will be, 100 times. The return I'll get on that is 100 times the investment I put in. Okay? So do you believe your future self can make more than $5,000? I do. I believe your future self, and I don't even know you, potentially can make more than $5,000. And I think that's really just a drop in the bucket, a teeny tiny fraction of your brain's capacity to create more success, more money, more freedom, more time. That's just a teeny weeny little investment when you think about the big picture. So the women I work with inside CTG or Committed to Growth, the change that they're creating in their life, it is about so much more than being successful or earning more. This kind of change allows them to no longer, what I like to say, white knuckle life. No longer feel miserable about what they're doing or scared about what they're not doing. This change creates success in all areas of their life. And I am committed in the way that the program is structured to give them everything they need, the support, the tools, the thinking, so that they feel equipped to do life and business feeling in control, equipped to take care of themselves as they go through what is really what we go through every day is the human experience, and equipped to create more for themselves and their families. It's a really rich process in changing the way they show up for themselves, their business, their career, and their family. And they're changing the way they do things, the way they navigate, the way they deal with stress, the way they approach and deal with challenges. And the process isn't just about growing a business or a career, although that is a result. It is about up-leveling life. You're getting an upgrade. And by doing so, that's how you create the results you want. And that's how your results become sustainable, because you're upgrading your thinking. Okay? When you invest in yourself, you are automatically getting an upgrade in thinking. So just imagine how different would things be for you? How different would things feel for you? How different would your results be if you weren't stressing about things? If you gave yourself the tools that you need to flow through the stress versus resisting it. And maybe even you might laugh along the way. And what if you were able to just let yourself move in whatever direction feels good? So I hope that you feel inspired and motivated and able to make the decisions for yourself, to invest in yourself so that you can create the results you want on purpose and not to have to rely on anyone else. Your husband, the stock market, GameStop, or Apple, so that you can rely on you. So if you would like to work with me directly inside my Committed to Growth program that starts on March 18th, go to andrealiebross.com/group-coaching. Click on the Start Enrollment Process button, and let's get you trusting and believing in yourself, because I already do, so that you can create the kind of business and life you want, so that you can move forward, make money, and manage life. Okay, my friends, that's what I have for you today. Until next week, go think about leveling up, getting that upgrade, aggressively investing in you. Talk soon. Who's your coach? I would be honored to be your coach for a day or even more. If you want to stop feeling overwhelmed and are ready to commit to growing your business, your career, or yourself, head over to register at andrealiebross.com/group-coaching. Check out the Committed to Growth Group Coaching Program, where we take all of this learning from the podcast and 10x it so that you can learn to commit to your growth forever and eliminate all of the wavering, the wishy-washy, the little quits, and the figuring it out. We start the next cohort of Committed to Growth on March 18th, but enrollment is open now, so you want to reserve your spot. If you want to talk more about it, book your consult call as part of the enrollment process, and we will figure out if this is a good fit for you. andrealiebross.com/group-coaching to find out more. See you in March.